Good times. Good times. Happy Thursday, everybody. This is going to be an interesting stream. It'll be an interesting stream for a couple reasons. One, I've never done one in the middle of the week before, so we'll see how that goes. Second, I'm sure everyone has heard of the impending demise of Mixer, which is where we had been streaming these. So we are switching it up a little bit. We're going to see what happens streaming it directly to YouTube. This is literally the first time I've ever used YouTube from a streaming standpoint, so I have totally made everything up. I think I've gotten YouTube and OBS to play well together. It says that everything is working. It says that we've got a good stream going here. Preview looks good. OBS looks happy. I don't know. Everything looks like it's working the way it's supposed to be. So we're going to see what happens. We're going to give it a shot. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe we like this, maybe we don't like this, but it's Mixer's not an option anymore, and Twitch is a dumpster fire that I want nothing to do with. So we've got YouTube. Facebook will never ever be part of my life again. So YouTube it is. See what happens. So what are we building today? From the description and from the instructions over there on the side, you can see what we have is this. This is the Tantive 5 or Tantive 4 that was just released out a couple months ago. You can tell it's relatively new because it's got the Disney branding on it instead of just the Star Wars branding. It's set number 75244. Got about 1,800 pieces. I figure probably take us 3 sessions to get everything built, get everything up and running, but it has never been opened. I figured we would go ahead and do that together and see what's going on inside the box here. All right, let's cut some tape. And of course I don't have the box cutter here, so we're gonna have to be a little bit unkind in order to get the tape working. Got that one. And let's get this side. All right, so we got both of those done. Open up the middle of the box, and here's what we got. Oh, we got a big old pile of stuff. All right, see what we got going on here. All right, we've got instructions. Oh, and stickers. I know everybody's always of a mind about the stickers, whether they like the stickers or the printed pieces. But, oh, so much noise. We have an instruction booklet, and this should be the same one that you guys see on the stream that we're going to use as we go through here. So we'll set that over there. We've got a sheet of stickers. It's actually not that many stickers. 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 14, 16, 18, 19 of them. I suppose for a model this size, that's not too bad. And then we've got a couple loose pieces here, all of which look like they are going to be full pieces for that front. I bet you there's 4 of them. Yeah, we've got 4 of them. And then we've got the bags. I promise, I didn't mean for this to be an A. Just a little noisy at the beginning. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. So we've got 13 bags for this one. Generally get through probably 4 bags per stream. This one may take 3, possibly even 4 builds to get together, but that's okay. That's okay. It should be fun. Let's go ahead and clean up the bags, and we will get started with the first one. So let's take these. These over here with the stickers. And we'll go ahead and get started with number 1. So we've talked a little bit about the bricks and what it is that we're going to do from a building standpoint, from a beverage standpoint, which I certainly hope all of you have brought yours with you. We are going to stick with the same thing that we did on the last stream, which is these truly, try to get it in focus there. I don't really like the hard seltzers. The lemonades are definitely tasty. I have no issues with the lemonades at all. And they are reasonably healthy in that, 100 calories and 2 grams of carbs for each one. Not gonna lie, works out pretty well for me. So that's what we're gonna start with. We got a few more of these. Small interesting note is that I realized about 20 minutes ago, as I was testing everything out before I jumped on stream, that I haven't actually eaten anything today. So we've got some snacks here to get us through it. We'll certainly make the lemonade more effective, hopefully. And I think that does it for the setup. For those of you who are joining the stream for the first time. I appreciate you. This is good for my brain. This is something that's been a lot of fun putting together. Please feel free, use the chat, jump in. I will kind of wander around through different conversations and topics, and I'll talk a little bit about the build as we go through and that sort of thing, but always happy to have whatever conversation or whatever topic of conversation you guys are feeling like tonight. So with that, here's bag number 1. And bag number 1. Has our build tool in it, which we need to have for every Lego build, of course. Looks like we've got some structural pieces that are going to go in here. Everything comes in pairs except that guy. Some little pieces. And now that we've got the first bag open, we need to take a look through kind of the beginning of the instructions and figure out where we're going and what we're doing. Throw those up there. All right, on the instructions, we have something about the design team and a little bit about the Tantive 4, which I'm hoping most of you are familiar with. We've got some specifications about the actual ship, which is always pretty fun because we all know that it's not an actual ship. We've got some of the details around the model designers and the graphic artist who worked with him, and we get to see each of the little minifigs that we're going to be building as we go through it. And then we do this in multiple different languages. So we'll skip the other languages and head to the beginning where they teach us how to open the box. Always good. And they teach us how to use the brick separator, for those of you doing this for the first time. As always, we definitely appreciate the fact that Lego creates digital copies of all of the instructions of everything that we work on. We've got digital versions, and that's what we're going to use. So it looks like bag 1 and bag 2 are going to be the superstructure. Like we get the spine of the ship and we start getting some of the platform that we're going to build on top of. Like we've got 1 minifig as we go through each step. So bag 1 and bag 2, then 3, 4, then 5, 6, 7. And honestly, I think that that's probably the best we could hope for tonight. Get through those first 2, bag 1 and 2, bag 3 and 4. And then we've got 8, 9, which has 2 minifigs, 10 and 11, and then we round it out with 12 and 13 with the finishing pieces and that final minifig. So we'll start here with bag 1 and step 1. As always, we get to start by building the minifigs. And this looks like it's going to be one of the crewers. If you remember the Tantive 4 from the end of the movie where Darth Vader jumps in and decides he's going to wreck everybody's day, this guy here probably ends up having a pretty rough time. If he survives all the way to New Hope, then he ends up getting boarded and probably still has a pretty rough time. But in our little universe here, we'll make sure that things are a little bit less stressful for him. Let's see if we can't find his weapon here as well. Not that it does him much good, but there we go. We've got a Come on, autofocus. We've got little dude. Little dude's got his weapon, little visor on the top. Pretty cool helmet. I like it. And we're going to go ahead and set him off to the side here and work on building the rest of it. Okay, step one, let's get started. I'm kind of excited about this one. I don't honestly remember why I bought this one. Generally, with Star Wars kits, I stick with the UCS kits, the Ultimate Collector Series. They generally tend to be larger and more detailed, and back in the day, used to get just about any Star Wars piece that that Lego put out, but have been a little bit more selective here lately, especially with some of the bigger stuff that I've done. The Millennium Falcon, the Slave One. But this one, I don't know, I liked it when I saw that they were putting it up for sale, and bought one a few months back. Bought it just as it came out. Might have even been beginning of the year, very end of last year. With the house move and everything, it kind of all blurs together. But I don't know, I liked it. So picked it up and haven't really had the time or energy to spend on building it. But I figured we finished all of the helmets, and we finished the UCS A-Wing. Was the last stream that we did over on Mixer this last weekend. So I figured if we're going to give YouTube a try, we're going to see if we can't pull some people into the stream. Maybe we go big. Put together one of the bigger sets. And 1,700 pieces, is that what it is? 1,700, 1,800 pieces. It's pretty decent. 13 bags is not bad. I think this should be pretty fun. So it looks like we're going to build the spine of the ship here, the superstructure of the ship. And so we're going to see lots of Technic pieces and lots of little snapping studs here to be able to put things together and extend them out and create some spine to build the rest of the ship around. You can see we're already taking a piece and building a piece and building a piece and building a piece. And my guess is that we'll do this, and then once we get one side built up, we'll actually mirror it and double it up so that we've got one long continuous two block wide spine when we get done. But we'll see what happens here. Nope, so far we're still going to continue extending it out, and we're getting a good idea of exactly how long the ship is going to be. I mean, we're already a good 16 inches or so, and that looks like we might create a whole nother one of these. So we set that aside and we start the next one, which is going to start like this. 1, 2, 3. Oh, looks like we got another visor. That's kind of cool. I don't know if that's just an extra piece or what. We'll set it off to the side there. Let's, while we're sitting here and I'm thinking about it, let's, can we share this out? Yeah, we can share this out. We'll share out the stream on Twitter. Because I did tell everybody that we were going to be streaming, but let's tweet out the link just to make sure everyone has it. And we'll do that. Let's say, here's the link. Come hang out. If I can spell out correctly, which I still didn't do. Out. There we go. All right. I'm back over here. So we got this first piece started, and then it looks like we're going to do kind of what we did on the other side, where we're going to add in one of the longer ones, and then we're going to put more snap locks in here. 1, 2. What's up, Damien? I'm a couple drinks in. I'm hoping you're gonna catch up. Because that's exactly what this day needs. There's a little bit of drinking. And 3 more at the end. And then I bet we're gonna grab another one of those white ones. Let's see. Yep, I was right. So it is, we're gonna mirror it. So my guess is that after we get these both built, we're gonna snap them together. Could be wrong. Let's see what happens. Yep, I was correct. So we've got both of these built. They are identical. And snap them together like this. It's interesting that there's so much reinforcement between here and so little kind of actually joining them. Dishes to be washed. I hear you. All right, so we've got kind of the spine of it built. Now it looks like we're gonna flip it over and do some reinforcement. Grab these guys and stick them there and there. this one goes on the back. This one goes in front of it, and that goes on the end. So a little bit of reinforcing to keep those together. And then we work on the front. On the front, what I'm assuming is the front. Got you, and you, and you extending out. Alright, we're going to go back to the other side. It looks like we're going to fill in some of the gaps. Fill these in here. And then put you right in the middle, 3 on either side. Then we've got some extended pieces to put together. All right. Like that. And like that. And then on top of each of those, we're going to throw these guys. So it looks like a way to extend the platform out to the side without increasing the height of it at all. Like that. Build 4 of these. No, face them the right direction. There's 2. And here's 2. There it is. And then you go there. We'll put a gray piece behind it. Put you out on the front. Now we got a little side quest to build. Let's actually do the bottom part first. Take you like that. Right there. Now let's build this guy. Is this the right one? Yep. And now we've got some angled roof pieces. You and you. That's an interesting way to set that up. Not exactly sure what's going to go in there, but we'll find out. And this whole thing sits there. And then a red one, and then a black one, and this gray piece that goes sideways. And 1, 2, 3 of you. This goes behind the red piece. We add some sides on so we can build. Very cool. So we add those. And then little ones. And then big ones. And then little tiny ones. All right, so I know that it's hard to see from the overhead view exactly what we just did there. I'll show you. What we did is we put these pieces on the side, which give us something to build on without increasing the width of the platform too much. So we ended up with kind of a good long piece that we can use to attach facing, we can use to attach those outside hull panels, we can use to attach anything we want to, which is kind of cool. And it looks like we're actually going to add a couple more and then build up. So we add these ones, and then those ones, put a spacer, add a couple more, throw some little ones in, a couple big ones. All right, so now if we look at it, kind of got the same thing. We've just, here, I'll get a little closer so you can see it. We've just extended it up a little. We did that on both sides. Now, put you on top in the middle here. Get it to sit down between all the pieces. Throw this on the back so that we get the full covered. Now we're going to put these guys on the bottom. That's curious. I'm interested to see what ends up happening there, because really all we've done is cut off one of those pieces and change the spacing between the side and the outer piece, and that's it. So we got a couple extra pieces, as we always do with a bag, including the visor, which is interesting. I've never seen an extra visor thrown in a minifig standpoint. I checked to see, it doesn't look like it actually goes on the minifig. So a little bit extra. All right, we'll take the extra pieces, stick them off there like we always do, and number 2. Before we get started with bag number 2, I am going to go say goodnight to the kids. So hold on for me for just a little bit. I'll leave the music on and turn it up, and I'll be right back. All right, let's turn that music back down a little bit. Okay, I'm back. Let's make sure everything is still streaming like it's supposed to. Yeah, looks like we're doing okay there. All right. I found these, just as an aside, I found these in the one of the markets at a Marriott hotel that I was staying at. I don't even remember what city. Might have been Nashville, but honestly, I couldn't tell you. They are spectacular. They are just cheese crisps. Like, there's nothing to them but cheese, and they have almost no calories. And like, this entire bag is 300 calories, and almost no carbs. So they've become kind of my go-to pretty much all the time at this point. If you hear me eating something on stream, I apologize in advance, and that's what it is. Okay, let's jump back into bag 2. Got some big plates. We'll set those over off on their own. We've got some square frames. We've got some corner pieces. We've got some Technic bells. We've got some smaller plates. And various assorted things. All right, I think that's a pretty good start. And of course, there's absolutely no need to organize these every time you open a bag. But my brain is special, and my brain likes to have things reasonably well organized. See, there we go. Wasn't that easy? And we got 5 of these. All right. Then we got 2 little bags, and we'll dump those out over here. Separate them out a little. And then we've got one with all the little stuff. Like that. All empty. Okay. Bag 2. Quick shout out to Nick Howell, who's helped me a lot on the audio setup side. It's been a bit of a labor of love to get everything configured and working the way it's supposed to. But if it sounds even reasonably decent, that's Nick, the audio snob, helping me figure out what I needed to do. All right, so it looks like that goes on there, and that goes on there. Alright. And then we take this one big one and we put it back here behind. Like so. We get one of my pet peeves, which is the metallic pieces and how they get displayed in the instructions. or that little lens flare that's off to the left is the only thing to tell you that it's a metallic piece. Works pretty well as long as you're taking stuff directly out of the Lego numbered bags, because they generally don't put metallic pieces and the non-metallic pieces together in the same bag. But when you're just building clean, or when you have a rebuild that you're doing from unmarked bags, it's an absolute disaster. An absolute disaster. But in this case, it'll probably be fine because they won't mess with us too much putting different pieces in there. Alright, here's something interesting. I'm going to hold that on so that we can slide that piece in the way it's supposed to. It's a little annoying to have those in there like that, but we made it work. I wonder if we're going to do two of those on the other side as well. You and you. And these two go on either side. And you go on there. Did we get everything off that last step? I was distracted. Yes, we got everything off that last step. So now we got a little bit of building to do. We're gonna do, let's start with the white ones. We're gonna go like that. And the same on the other side. And let's move all of this back so I've got a little bit more room to build. There we go. That's a little better. And then we need two of the red ones, and these are going to pick up where the white ones left off. Like that. And we've got two red dots. They're going to go there and there, like that. What else do we have? These ones go here and here. That goes there, and that goes there. 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 1, 2. Okay, we got everything on that step. And here's an easy one. All right. This is going to be a pain. We're going to take this guy, we're going to put it in the middle, and then we're going to squeeze that pin through. And getting it into this piece is going to be pretty easy. And lining up this yellow one on the other side is going to be a gigantic pain. Oh, maybe I'm wrong. That was a lot easier than I expected it to be. And hopefully, since we did the first one, the second one Be a challenge at all. Look at that. All right, I take it back, Lego. Wasn't nearly as much of a problem as I thought it would be. Now we're going to take these and we're going to put them here. And these, put them there. These, put them there. All right. Step 38, side quest. Right. We're back to putting pegs in holes. And then we attach the frames, which go there and there. And then we put more pegs in holes. And then we put the corner brackets on. Oop. Why don't we make sure that all of the studs are on the right side? Like that. Here. I know that's hard to see with the black against black, but come on, autofocus. You got this. There we go. That's what we've got. And I'm going to put some framing on it. We're going to put you on here. Press it down. We're going to take two of you. Put it there. And there. Take two of you. There and there. Two more of these. Kind of wrap the frame around. And then we've got some little stuff. We've got that to go there. We've got some grates there and there and there. More metallic lens flares. We've got that and that. That. And then we flip it over and work on the bottom. Got our two beige pieces which go there and there. And these guys are going to wrap around the corner like that. This to go there. Yep. And then the last one of these is going to go right in the middle. Like that. All right. 6 more. Let's put pegs in holes. Looks like we're going to populate everything up here on the front. 3. 4, 5, 6. we flip it over and we add these in. 1, 2. All right, so we've got, I think, the whole structure built. Let's take a look and make sure. No. All right. Looks like we've got a side quest on our side quest. And we go like that. And put you there. And put you there. And that whole thing goes under there. Then we do the same on the other side. And there. Here. Yay! More pegs and holes. But it's only on that side. Oh, interesting. Or maybe it's just going to have us rotated around. Yep. Then has us flip it over and we put the other two in. That's what I thought. We put one of you on there. Put two of you doubled up on top of the beige ones. And then and more pegs and holes. Never ends. Now some of these are special pegs and holes. Like that. And then this whole thing gets attached here. More pegs and holes. And then we hang the other two of these off of there, like this. And it goes, oh, does it attach on the bottom too? Yeah, it looks like it has to. All right. And it goes all the way in. Then we do the same thing on the other side. Yeah, it looks like it has to. I mean, there's no real other way to put that on the way they want it to. Being on the top and the bottom. And then this whole thing gets attached right behind the red pieces. So, here, like that. And I guess, my guess is that's going to be about as long as this thing gets. From one side to the other. Now they want us to push in the red pieces. Okay. 1, 2. Lock that in there. We've got to add some more side pieces that let us build out onto the sides. We've got 2 of these that are going to go in front. Like that. Two of these that then go on top. Like that and like that. With this going there. And this going there. And that's the end of bag 2. 2 little pieces left. Pieces I can totally see being extra. And that's it. All right. 2 bags down. Bag 3. I'm sure everybody on Twitter's doing. So, here's something fun. I've gotten 2 separate 3. Is that 3? Here's one of them I already deleted. I've gotten 2 different sets of tweets today where the entire DM is, how will you feel if I help you pay your bills and support you financially? Which cracks me up on any number of levels. Like this has to be people who've gotten hacked. I mean, I can't imagine what it would be otherwise. I don't know, but A. Jones and Mark Andy, thanks for thinking of me. Thanks for looking out for me. I'm okay with my bills, so I'm probably gonna pass on the offer, but I guess it was nice of you to ask. Nice of you to ask. All right, let's get started on bag 3. Bag 3 looks like we get a familiar minifig. I've noticed something cool about it in this set I'm pretty excited about. You notice in the picture that Princess Leia has 2 outfits. 2 outfits. One is her skirt, her dress, the white dress that she's wearing at the beginning of episode 4. And the other white dress from the beginning of episode 4. The other Pants. Pants. They give you both. This would make my daughter very happy. I imagine this would make many people happy. And we've got one of our nice dual faces. We've got fierce Princess Leia face. And then we have smirky. Let's put her hair back on because we don't want her to be. Then we've got smirky Princess Leia. And I'm a big fan of smirky Princess Leia, so we're gonna leave her that way. And she gets a gun because she's a better shot than all the boys. And we get to have her either in her skirt or in pants where she can run around and beat people up and shoot things. All right. This doesn't look like a very hefty bag. Those are not the same piece. Those are the same piece. 3 of you. Got some seats. All right. Where do we start? We start with these two, which are going to go on top here. Like that, and like that. Am I lost? What are you doing? I know, it's been a bit of a week with me and the streaming services, Nick. It's been a bit of a week. I think I got it working though. Definitely any feedback you have on the actual quality of the stream. Like, not only did I have to learn YouTube and all of the differences with how YouTube and OBS and stream keys and all the rest of that stuff, how the rest of that stuff works, but my Dell G5, which I normally use for doing any of the streaming here in this overhead studio, because it's got a nice hefty video card in it and video card in it. Everything's great. I actually gave it to my son to take to his grandparents. He's there with his mom and wanted to be able to play video games with his friends, so I let him take the laptop with him. So I actually had to move all of this over to my Surface Book, which was an entire extra thing where apparently I can't run both of the cameras off of the USB ports. And so I have to have one of them plugged into a USB port and one of them plugged into the dock, plugged into the power connection. Like, it's been a day, Nick. It's been a day. Thanks for noticing. But we're doing good. We're about, 3 bags in? We're on bag number 3. I'm about to start my second drink. We have snacks. We got a little bit of chill music in the background. We've done pretty good so far. So thanks for jumping in. These are going back here. I would definitely like your feedback on the audio when you get a second. I did a fair amount of work. Oh, thunderstorm. I did a fair amount of work trying to get it cleaned up from what we had set up last week. So if you could let me know if it sounds better, if it sounds worse, if it sounds about the same. Because especially on top of all the rest of the craziness of trying to move everything over, I tried to get the audio cleaned up a little bit. Just a skosh. What do we got here? 2U and 2U and 1U. So we're just going to stack all of these up. All right. Let's do it from the front to the back so that we don't have to worry about where our spacing is. We'll put U, U, and U. No, I turned RTX completely off. I was having all sorts of problems with it because I've actually got a GTX in this laptop. Long story, go do what you need to do. We can definitely discuss when you get back, but no, this is just raw OBX audio feed from the Camlink with some noise suppression and a noise gate thrown on to try to cut some of the background noise down. But yeah, I mean, it's still a big room. It's still a big room with lots of walls. It's gonna echo just a little bit. And 4 of these. I'm gonna go. Nope, one back. So we're gonna go back and we're gonna leave a gap. There and there. And there. And there. Like that. One. Okay. And we've got a side quest. My guess is we're gonna have 2 side quests, but it's gonna kick us off with just one side quest. And we're gonna do that. Put you on there. We're gonna do 3 of these facing the other direction. Ooh. There. And 6. I got some pieces to go on the facing. So these are fancy enough that it makes me feel like these are going to be outside visible pieces rather than something that we're going to cover up internally. Not you, we need the other half of you. We need... Nope, nope, nope. Where are you? Are you hiding on me? Maybe that is it. Alright, well, we'll use that. We're gonna go 1, 2, and then another one of these little metallic dudes is gonna go there. And then we've got 2 more. Not there. There. Got this that goes there. Yeah, this has definitely got to be something that's going to be externally visible. There's just too much little detail, too many little pieces for this to be anything else. And then on the back side, we put you and you. Yeah, definitely going to be 2 of these. And this is going to go on the outside here. And this is definitely going to be something you can you can see it's got a fair amount of detail on it. Do it in the overhead camera too. It's got a fair amount of detail on it, so I think that we're definitely going to be seeing that from the outside. It's too much detail not to. And let's see, we've got some pieces that are going to go on here. And we've got our first sticker. Hooray. All right. Stickers, doing this one. It almost looks like the chessboard from the Millennium Falcon, but it is not quite. I think it's just a table. So we're gonna try to make this not just straight, but then also line it up with the studs. So we're gonna go there and see if we can't. Huh? Yep, that'll do. Got it on there. I'll hold it up so that you can see it a little better. Got it on there nice and clean. Everybody's happy. And you go there. Good, good, good. Now we've got, what is that little piece doing out there? Get back over there. You, and you're gonna get 2 of these. That. And you're gonna get paired with one of these to go there and there. Yep, and that makes sense because it all ends up lining up. You there and there. Okay. Little side quests. Not too much to it. Put you on there. Like that. Like that. There. Chunky boy goes right there. And we've got another side quest. Oh, we got more stickers. Okay, so these are going to be stickers number 9 and 10. And 10 is going to go on this far side. I'll do that like that. Looks good to me. And then 9 is going to go on this close side. And it's going to go there, like that. So we've got sticker on that side. I got sticker on that side. Excellent. I don't know if you can hear it, but the rain has decided to come down, boys and girls. Has decided to come down. All right, this whole thing goes right in the middle, like that. Can you hear that? I don't know, the noise gate might be too high, but we're definitely getting a storm. Okay, another side quest. I bet this is the brick or the wall that we're gonna put over here on this side. I betcha. So we're gonna put you and you. And these two are facing out. And then this slotted guy, weird piece, is facing that way. And then you go on top. And we build some wacko you, and then you, and then this piece facing the other way. You go on there. And then we put, ooh, you go back on where you're supposed to. Weird piece goes there. Guns, whatever these are, go back facing that way. Put you on there. We attach you to go there, and that whole thing goes there, and then this whole thing goes on this wall as expected. Okay, there we go. And that is the end of bag 3. We've got a couple little pieces that are left. Nothing that concerns me greatly. Put those over in the boneyard. And so bag 4. This is moving far faster than I thought it would. Maybe we're just getting good at this. All right. I need another drink. I'm empty. I'm gonna grab a drink. Be right back. All right. I swear that I thought we put that URL up on Twitter. I thought we did. But I'm looking at my Twitter feed, and it does not appear that that is the case. So let's do that now. Look at that. I simply didn't hit the tweet button. I just didn't hit the tweet button. Well, that's okay. Now it's fixed. Now it's fixed. Yep. Now it's fixed. Helps if you hit the actual button that says go do this thing, doesn't it? Yes, it does. All right, bag number 4. Let's put you down here. Let's open this guy up. Oh, that's interesting. No idea what that piece does, but I guess we'll all find out. We got a couple of them. Just this one? Yeah, looks like just that one. All right. Got everything organized enough? so. Okay. Let's get it started. We need 2 of the, oh, gotta flip it upside down. 2 of you and 2 of you. Nope, 2 of you and just 1 of you. So we're gonna put you guys here, and I'll show you in a second. That's actually gonna give us a full width to be able to build against. And then we're gonna move forward a little bit, and we're gonna put two and 2. Then we're gonna skip a little bit. I'm gonna put 2 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There it is. That's why we organize, right? That's why we organize. Cheers. And as we move up to the front, now we do gray and red and gray, and we do 4 of those. 4 of those, but there was my mistake. It's like, I don't see any of those out there. They were in the little bag, which I hadn't opened yet. I'm surprised we got that far before I realized that. Alright, so we need 4 of these, and they're going to go on either side of the red. So 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Now we've got some wonkiness, don't we? Here, on these guys, we're gonna put, nope, not those ones, these ones. Inside out and inside out, like that. I'm gonna take these, and we're actually gonna put them on the outside. Curiouser and curiouser. So, since it's kind of hard to see from the top, we put those 2 curved pieces on in the middle, and we actually attached flat pieces to one of those. Oh, and we need you. You're gonna go over the red piece there. Okay. All right, we flip them back over. And now we need these 2 top pieces, I think. And we need those 2. And we need 2 of these. And we're going to build these. You and you. And then you and you. And they go on here, using those outside aligned studs that we put together, like that. We need our 2 wings, which are going to align with the white piece, so we're gonna span that gap that's here. between the platform and this white piece with the wing. We're going to throw a couple of these on where? Aha. Like here. So we're actually going to continue that frame around and into the center. Like that. Then we're going to line the top. Or line it the rest of the way, or part of the rest of the way. I'll put those two on there. I'm going to put this one piece on over here. And then this guy, and I'll show you what I just did. On the front here, put this piece in, and I'm going to put that angled piece next to it. Take you, it looks like we're going to build two of these as well. On the back, and then this goes on top. And white on the back. And then this piece. Top. And these are going to go on either side like that and like that. Okay. Where are we? Oh, we're flipping upside down again. Oh, it's much more stable now that that's all been built up in the middle. Like it doesn't, I mean, you can still tip it, but it feels a lot more stable. We've got these three open pieces, and that's where we're going to attach that and that. And then we attach one of these to here. And we put a stud in that middle hole, like that. Oh boy. Got us another side quest. So we're going to take this, little dot on the top, like that, put the whole thing onto the dish, turn the dish over, you go in there, and then these guys, oh, is that, oh, that is an entirely different kind of piece. I was like, how do they go on in that direction? I feel like with us closing in on part number one, or step number 100, I need to tell some stories. Look at that. That goes right on there. What kind of story should we tell? We could tell a story about how my day pretty much sucked. we could start that story with the phone call that said, wait a minute, how are there pieces on that side? Did I miss something? See these ones? Can you see my cursor? Yeah, you can see my cursor. These pieces right here, I don't remember putting those on there. Ah, that's because they were right there and I skipped that part. Wah, wah. There we go. Okay, now I feel better. Bob Ross of Lego. I am the Bob Ross of Lego. I like that. So my day started getting a phone call from the glass company who was supposed to be delivering and installing the mirrors that I'm putting into my garage. That I've been waiting on for the better part of 2 weeks at this point. And the call was, sorry, we broke the mirrors getting them off the truck outside of your house just now. So, we're obviously not going to be able to deliver them to you today. We'll try to get them to you later on this week. I was like, all right. Not the end of the world. Pretty lucky to be able to do some of the things in the garage that I'm doing anyway. Got plenty to do today, no big deal. No big deal. Especially if they can get out here later this week. I'll just be happy with the way things worked out and we'll all move on. Kind of a bummer. Not a big deal. The next issue is that, as some of you know, I sold my old townhouse this week, which I am super excited about. And the proceeds from the townhouse sale were supposed to have shown up already. It's supposed to have shown up within hours of the actual closing yesterday, because at that point I don't own the house anymore. It's important that I have the money that is associated with the house that I sold. Because they're kind of particular about that. If you don't have the house anymore, you kind of need to have the money that goes with it. And they paid off the mortgage, which was good, so I don't actually owe anybody on the house, but haven't seen the money from the house yet. So I'm patient, and I wait, and I go a good, I don't know, 12 hours before I finally called the attorneys that were part of the closing process. Say, hey, where's my money? Not to be the hardcore capitalist, but I got plans for that money. Where's my money? And they say, we're all done with the money. We closed, the mortgage has been paid, everything's out of our account, we're finished and we're ready to go. And then I start getting that kind of sinking feeling in my stomach, because when we were doing the closing, it was one of those deals where at the end of it they say, do you want a check or do you want a wire transfer? And nobody uses a check. Like, who uses paper anymore? So I said wire transfer. and thinking that they're gonna, email me some link to a portal or something where I can put in my wire transfer information and they'll send it over. No. She pulls out a sheet of paper and slides it across the table and says, "Go ahead and fill all this out." And the account number is like 9 digits, and the routing number I think is 10 digits. And of course, I got the routing number right, but for the account number, apparently I threw an extra 3 in there. Beginning of it's all 3s and 5s, and there were 2 3s in a row, and I made it 3 3s in a row, and we finally figure this out, and I realize that the proceeds, the not insignificant proceeds from my townhouse, have probably been sent to some unsuspecting USAA customer somewhere in the world who happens to have the account number that I put down on this sheet of paper, which was not mine. And then I start freaking out just a little bit. Just a little bit. Because like I said, it is not an insignificant amount of money, and I want it. So at that point, I kind of go down 2 processes. One is I go to the lawyers and say, look, this is 100% on me. I'm an idiot, but I don't have my money, and you didn't send it to me. You sent it to somebody. You didn't send it to me. And how do we fix this? Like, how do I get my money? And when I don't immediately hear back from them, and by immediately I mean like in 3 seconds, I jump on Twitter and share with the world that I'm a moron who doesn't know how to transcribe a 9-digit number, and that might end up being an expensive mistake. Now, I didn't actually tag USAA in the post. What's interesting is within 30 seconds, someone from USAA responds to me on Twitter and says, jump into DMs, let's figure out what we can do. So I jump into DM, I'm, there's probably 40-50% of me that thinks they're just gonna say, you're an idiot. Somebody got the monopoly bank error in your favor. And I don't know what they do at that point. Take the money back from someone? I have no idea. And as I'm talking to them, the support person asks, what's the account number that you gave them? Like, what account number did you write down? Where do they think they sent that money? And I take the wrong account number with all the extra, with the single extra 3 in it, and I send it over. And USAA comes back and tells me that there's good news, that that's not an actual USAA account. That number doesn't belong to a customer, and therefore the money actually didn't go to somebody else. The money just ends up getting bounced. Like the people who initiated the transaction, the lawyers, will get a notification that that account number doesn't exist, and they'll bounce it. And then it'll get sent back. And that's good news, because apparently there is a process to go get money that's been wired to the wrong person back. But I got the impression it was not a fun or easy process, and was also told that I was lucky it was a regular wire transfer and not something like Venmo, or what's the What's the bank one? I forget what it's called. Let's see. It's called... Zelle? I think that's what it's called. Yeah, Zelle. The thing that Z-E-L-L-E, all the US banks use it to transfer money back and forth because they're too stupid to know how to do it themselves. Anyway, the person was telling me that Zelle includes a distinct caveat emptor that whoever you sent that money to, that's where the money's going to, and the only way you're getting it back is if they decide to give it back to you. Because this is a wire transfer from a third party, they've got a little bit more flexibility. So I got lucky in a couple different ways. So allegedly, in the next 3 to 5 business days, the wire transfer will essentially time out, and the law firm that did the closing will get a notice that the wire transfer is timed out, and then they can go and resend it, get me my money. Moral of the story is don't be an idiot and give away a sizable amount of your money to someone else because you are too dumb to be able to transcribe numbers. I think the bigger issue looks off. No, 1, 2. This one's off. Okay. The bigger issue, if we're being honest here, is that my eyesight is shit. My eyesight was so good for so long and served me well. And over the last 2 years or so, it's just gone straight downhill. And little screen, little numbers, can't tell whether there's 2 3s there or 3 3s there. Ended up being a pretty sizable issue. And could have been way worse, I think. Could have definitely been way worse. All right, did we get all that? That looks like an awful lot of extra pieces. This is what happens when I try to talk and build. It doesn't necessarily always work the way it's supposed to. Let's see. That one, that's the only, is that the only brown piece that we've got that goes in there? Yeah, these must be extras. Okay, fine by me. I think we're done with bag number 4. Yeah, okay. I'll take these as all extra pieces, and we will stick them on the boneyard. Let's take a look at that final built piece and just make sure. Oh, I see something I missed. These guys are actually going to go on the back side of here after they've been pushed through. Like that, and like that. I thought it was suspicious that we had 2 of the same piece left over. Okay, that makes me feel better. I think we're okay. All right. Here we go. LASIK Pro. Yeah, I need to do something. It's gotten to the point where for like the first 45 minutes in the morning, while my brain is still remembering how to refocus my eyes, that they're just completely and utterly useless, which is no bueno. However, getting them fixed means I have to go actually see a doctor. There are many things in my life I just don't do. Going to the doctor is pretty high up on that list. Pretty high up on that list. All right, let's see what sort of messages we got. Cool setup. I wonder if I could do something like that. You absolutely could. I need to put together a parts list. The frame that I'm using for suspending the camera is spectacular. It's got lots of different places to attach things. It's got mounts. I could put a backdrop on it if I wanted. If I didn't have a table to put it on, I could put a backdrop on it to be able to use. I'm using like 2 cameras and 2 soft lights, and then a shotgun mic that's attached to the overhead camera. And it actually sounds reasonably well considering I'm in kind of a great big cavernous room and got the library behind me with all of that space that's in there. So it's not as warm sounding as it would be if I was doing it upstairs in the studio, but it still comes out pretty good, and I love having this table to be able to build on. What else do we got in here? We've got... Oh, Brian, what do we got? I paid $200 for a 3-day virtual conference. Not in 2020. Yet. We've got a bit of an interesting situation going on kind of in my professional life with conferences and charging for things in 2020. And I'm very interested to see how this plays out. But hopefully, from the vendor in question, hopefully we can figure out why they chose to go the route they went and see if there's not something we can do to help. Make sure everybody gets what they need out of things, you know? All right. What do we got next? Next, we have bag number 5. It does not look like we have a minifig in the bag here. Like we're going to be working on the back of the model, back where the engines are. So I'll do a a little bit of organization here just to get everything straight. Wow, lots of those. And lots of those. Wow. A whole bunch of those. And still more of them. All right, there we go. And then we got a little bag. And a little bag moves there. It's interesting, there's a pair of wings in the little bag and a pair of wings in the big bag, and nobody really knows why. All right, let's start. Well, those two are actually facing the same direction. Look at that. There's a left and a right in each bag. So weird. And then you are going to go on top. Like this. There, and this comes underneath like that, and we flip it over and we add the little wings there and there. Throw two of these on. That, get on there. And there. All right, so it ends up looking like that. And we put the whole thing up. We're gonna do a couple of these, I feel. This one's going to go over on this side like this. And you can see that these pieces that we put in here before are where that's going to snap in like that. And then it looks like it closes it off. And I bet you that guy's going to lay down there so that we get a nice little angled piece to it. Now it looks like we do the other side. We'll do those two. And that. And that. Flip it over. Got the little wings on. Did we finish the house story? I don't remember, but I guess the end result is at some point I should get my money, but I can't see anymore and probably need to fix that as a root cause. But at some point I will get my money, and that makes me happy. The end. So, broken mirrors, lost gigantic sums of money. Questionable decisions by vendors about my favorite conference. That forced me to write a 2,200 word manifesto on how we figure it out and how we fix it. It's been a damn day. Throw in Mixer imploding right under our noses. Throw in Twitch turning into a dumpster fire of terrible people. I don't know. Just feels like just when you think 2020 can't get any more ridiculous. He laughs and says, "Hold my beer." Hold my beer. We were cruising through this faster than I thought. I think we thought we were going to get through 3 bags, because that's usually about what we did when we did the UCSA wing. We got through about 3 bags a stream. And I think we're on what, bag 5 now? Yeah, we're on bag 5, so we've cruised right through. It is very possible, what time is it, 11:15? Very possible we could do this in 2 streams, which would be kind of cool. Because after this, we got to figure out what we want to do next. Some of our options are significant in size. I heard that. Some of our options have lots and lots of pieces. We need to figure out if it's, well, I mean, I'm gonna do it. We need to figure out how quickly we can do it, I guess is the point. Right. Although, I mean, I guess really it doesn't matter. We never use the dining room table. It's not like we've got formal dinners and stuff that we have to be able to deal with this. And even if we did, because the table has the compartment underneath it where I can pull the top off and put everything underneath, even if we did, I could make the build last as long as I want to. So, I guess it doesn't matter. Obscure TV shows we loved as kids. I've had this random urge to revisit. You can't do that on television. All right. You can't do that on television. Things that show up in my brain. First of all, best ever cover of what was it? Phil Collins did it. I can sing it in my head and can't think of the actual name of the song. don't have to worry, you just have to wait. Love don't come easy. It's a game of give and take. So best cover of that on TV ever. And also might possibly be the best Canadian TV show that's ever been made. My sister has 3 kids, 3 little boys that are like all under the age of 6. And they're self-quarantining during the COVID with my other brother and his wife and their 3 kids. And yes, you can't hurry love. Good job, Nick. And I got a request from them as my most ardent Plex fans. I got a request from them the other day that they desperately needed every episode of She-Ra, Princess of Power. Now, it is not odd for me to get these types of requests from her. So I do what I do best, and She-Ra magically shows up. And apparently all of the cousins spent the rest of the day blissfully happy watching these, what are realistically terrible, terrible episodes of a TV show meant to sell toys. But I didn't realize there had only been 2 seasons, with the second season having like 60 episodes in it. And that was it. She-Ra was done. And she ended up being, I think, a bit player for the He-Man series that ran a little bit longer. We need to build 2 of these, so let's step back and build the other one. I need to go back and, in my head, I remember all of those cartoons being good. I remember G.I. Joe and Transformers and GoBots, and I remember all of them being good. And Mask, which I think was literally only put together to sell toys. But I remember all of them being really good. Both of the Voltron series, the Voltron with the lions, and then the Voltron with all of the different vehicles from the Armada in space. I remember all of them being really good, and I'm scared to go rewatch them and find out that they were just absolute shit. So I'm hoping that as my nieces and nephews all start to figure out that those are on Plex and start to get to see them and play around with them, that they will like them as much as I did. But I would imagine some of that stuff hasn't aged very well. Would be my guess. What else, TV show wise? Oh, everybody's coming out of the woodwork to justify questionable decisions by billion-dollar vendors. It's gonna be a fun day tomorrow, kids. Gonna be a fun day. I got on a Star Trek kick the other day where I started with the new movies, 3 new Star Trek movies, which were, I guess, on the whole better than I expected them to be. And and I watched all of them when they first came out, and don't remember being disappointed with them, but getting to rewatch them, they're all pretty legit. Like, they're all pretty well acted and well cast, and do a great job of that time travel, not reboot type stuff. So they're pretty good. But TV show series, the original series and the Next Generation, I think, were the two big ones that really, that was my time. All right, so I've got 2 sets of holes, and I've got 1 set of pegs, and it looks like it's going on the inside set. So there, and there, okay. Sent me a present in Discord. Oh boy. Oh. Is that the original Transformers TV show? Like the box set from the TV show? Because I think I've got something. It doesn't, I don't know if it's that, I don't know if it's that fancy. But I have something like that from Thundercats? No, it's Voltron. They're metal tins that had the discs for the Voltron series in them, and they had a tin that matched each of the color of the lions, which was pretty cool. But it doesn't look as fancy as that one that you shared. That's pretty awesome. All right, what are we doing here? And I think we're done with this bag too. Damn, kids. We're crushing it. We're moving right along. I like it. All right, let's see, what do we got going on here? Let's see. All right. Looks like I finally figured out somebody that I can talk to. To figure out what's going on. So I will leave them my email address. And my phone number. Jackpot. Good. Maybe that will help. I'd love to get that worked out. That would make me happy. Okay. Bag 6, what do we got? It's 11:30. I think we can do one more. I do think I'm gonna need another drink. Here's bag 6. Put the spare pieces in the boneyard. Give me 30 seconds, and I'll be right back. All right. Original lemonade. Bag 6. What are we building here? Looks like the outer 2 engines are going to be in this bag. Getting out of there. All right, I think that's probably good enough. 3, I bet you there's a 4th one of those somewhere. Yep, 4. All right. Bag number 6. TV shows. I'm trying to think, if we go back to the TV shows, I feel like all of the shows that I love were the stereotypical shows that everyone watched. A-Team, Knight Rider, Airwolf, And Michael Vincent's still one of the coolest humans ever made. Werewolf was pretty awesome. Trying to think through what else was there. I got, I don't know, screwed out of a whole bunch of that pop culture stuff because I grew up in Germany. So from 77, 78, probably 87 or so, I was completely off the grid. Like I got whatever they played on the one Armed Forces Network channel that we got in country. And it was, especially on the cartoon side, I mean, it was Inspector Gadget, it was Transformers, it was G.I. Joe, it was Mask, it was the Disney Afternoon, the Gummy Bears, the DuckTales. DuckTales is another one that my nieces and nephews have jumped into. But when it moved into actual like live TV shows, I feel like it was kind of the standards. Yes, what was the TV show that also had a helicopter? It had the big orange and gray helicopter. And they were like detectives and solved cases, kind of like a Magnum PI. I want to say they were set on an island, something like that. And had the one guy who could never remember to keep his thumb out of his hand when he made a fist, and was always breaking his thumb when he was punching people. I don't remember which, but it was another one of those. It was just kind of good, goofy fun. On a side note, Muppet Babies might have been the best cartoon outside of the Disney Afternoon and Animaniacs. Riptide, there you go, you nailed it. But outside the Disney Afternoon, and Disney's always done the best cartoons possible. Even all the way up through, I mean, Phineas and Ferb and Kim Possible, and I mean they're at a whole nother level when it comes to putting those shows together. Muppet Babies was spectacular and was easily one of kind of the best of that era. And then Animaniacs as the WB's lone entry into that was ridiculously crazy fun. Yeah, Animaniacs was one of the first ones where I was actually in awe of the writing, of the stories that they were able to put together in such a condensed format. It was pretty impressive. All right, so we got you, 2 blocks, block in the back, 2 flat panels on top. And some of the bits that they did on, oh, I see what that is. Okay, some of the bits that they did on Animaniac were just world-class amazing. I mean, Pinky and the Brain, there were a good half dozen of those that that from beginning to end were just pretty amazing. I really liked Inspector Gadget. I don't know if that's cool or not. I really liked Inspector Gadget because Penny was kind of hands down the coolest girl on the planet to 10-year-old me. She had a computer. She always figured everything out, and she was chill enough to cover for a dipshit uncle every time he kind of blindly wandered into something that he had no idea what he was doing. So I was totally okay with Inspector Gadget. I thought he was pretty cool. There we go. I should be back up. I didn't restart it. I didn't even have to restart OBS. I just let OBS go through and reconnect. So here I am. Yeah, the entire power for the house just decided it was going to turn off for like 3 seconds, and then it all came back up. And what's funny is everything in the house is on UPS. Nothing in here went down. I need to figure out. I'll bet you. Let's see. Is that better? There we go. All right. I don't want to restart OBS. Fine. Is it still being wonky? Everything should be back up. All of the cameras should be working. NDI reconnected the way it's supposed to. Still being messy? Okay. Alright. We'll stop the streaming and start the streaming. Alright. I think we're back. Does that sound better? Thank you, Duke Power. 4 nuclear plants within 20 miles of my house and you can't keep the power on. Wonderful. Okay. I don't even remember what step I'm on. I think we just finished 158. So the moral of the story is I need to put a UPS on the CPE outside because I think that's the only thing in the path that didn't have continuous power to it. So there's another project. There's something else I can buy off of Amazon. I'm excited. I am excited. What's up, Bender? How's it going? Thanks for jumping in. We're building things, and we're drinking things. We're surviving power outages. Yep. That's the only thing that I don't have on battery backup, because it's out in the garage. I had them run it into the house, but I didn't have them run the fiber all the way upstairs. I just had them run the device into the house, and it's the only thing that's out there that doesn't have a UPS on it, which will now obviously get addressed and fixed. Interesting. If you've got a link to that, Nick, send it to me. I'd love to take a look at it. Other side, we're going to take you and you. And you. And then this whole thing goes on that side just like that. All right, and underneath it, looks like we're gonna do this and this. Oh, I gotta put a sticker on it. Damn it. Okay. We're doing sticker number 3, and it looks like all 3 of those are identical. This one goes like this. Nope. Like that. And we get it lined up. And we get it centered. And we're good. Jackpot. I'm getting really good at the stickers. Guess we all need to be good at something, right? I'm good at putting stickers on Legos. I'll take it. And we flip it over to the back, and we've got more pegs and holes. Pegs and holes. Pegs and holes, pegs and holes. This goes on that side, like that. Yes. And then on the top, you and you. And on the back, we do the same thing we did for the other 2. This looks familiar. That. And that. All right. And then this attaches to, ooh, ooh. We almost had a spillage issue. We almost had us a moment. That would have been the perfect end to this day, wouldn't it? Thank you. Michael asked about the background music. There's a YouTuber named Harris Heller that a couple of us know who was having all sorts of issues with DCMA strikes, with copyright strikes. And so he actually released a whole series of music tracks called Stream Beats that are on every platform: Spotify, Apple Music, Google Play, basically every music service on earth, that are all just nice and chill like this, and are free, and you have complete explicit license to use them for streaming, and the copyright is all taken care of, and approval is given, and the whole deal. So it's kind of nice to have this on in the background, and there's 100 some odd tracks at this point, but it's definitely pretty great. And even it's great for the stream, but Nick and I were actually talking the other night about how there's some legit tracks in there that are fine that are good to just listen to, not necessarily things that you just have to have on as music in the background. So yeah, check it out. It's Stream Beats. Harris Heller is the guy who put them out, and Alpha Gaming is his YouTube channel. And you can actually download the individual MP3s as well if you wanted to use them in a YouTube video that you're editing and putting together. And you can download them from his Discord channel, or from his Discord server. So yeah, definitely, it's a cool thing that Harris did. It's a brilliant thing that Harris did, but it's also making life a little easier for those of us who go through and have to put stuff like this together and don't want to run into trouble with it. We actually, at work, had the lawyers come in and give us an overview of copyright law and when you can use things and how to provide attribution and what sort of licenses are out there that are approved for us to use, and kind of all of that stuff. And this was one of the products that I brought up into the group and just said, if you're building anything and you just want music in the background, this guy's given explicit licensing and explicit permission to use all of this stuff on whatever content it is that you're publishing, which makes me happy. And so it was nice to be able to kind of contribute something to the group and say, I've used these and it's not terrible music, and the guy who runs it put it out there explicitly for folks like us to be able to use. And today, I'm sorry, Sean. I should have actually tagged you in the post. This is a super easy build. Honestly, what are we on? Bag 6? We got through bag 6 and we're just now closing in on 3 hours. This went a lot faster than I thought it would. And the coasters are actually double cool because, let's see if I can't get it to show here. The Boston V-Mug that I've spoken at a few different times gave these out to all of the speaker alumni one year. And so they gave me an entire set of these. And so they're really cool just by themselves. I mean, they're all natural slate and they've got the pads on the bottom. So I love them just for the look of them, but it's also kind of cool because the Boston V-Mug and I have a fair amount of history together as a V-Mug chapter and with some of the presentations that I've given. So it was pretty cool to have something from them as well. But thanks for stopping in. They gave them to everyone who'd been to one of the previous ones? Because it doesn't make it any less special to me. I thought it was a pretty badass giveaway that Steve and the team had put together for us. But they're pretty awesome. So I've got an entire set of them and love them. Definitely one of the cooler V-Mug swag things that I've gotten. Oh, if I can make a suggestion, the stand that Wicked Brick has for the Millennium Falcon is excellent, and it tilts it up on its side, so you actually take 3 of the legs off, and it tilts up on its side, and then it's got a piece of lucite on the front that has the place for the minifigs to be able to stand. It is excellent, makes it easier to display, and ends up taking less room. So if you get a chance, I definitely recommend, nope, that's the wrong place for that to be. I definitely recommend any of those lucite stands that Wicked Brick makes. In fact, they just reopened on Monday. They'd been closed down for the pandemic and just reopened on Monday, and I want to say I put in an order for like $170 worth of stuff. I needed one. What do I have back there? I needed one for the A-Wing UCS that we just finished. I needed one for the Slave 1, which I don't have one for. I needed one for the UCS Y-Wing. They have a really cool one for the International Space Station and a display for the Women of NASA layout. So I went ahead and got those as well. And then I got one for the next First Order Star Destroyer, and one for the Tantive, and then one for the Imperial Star Destroyer, which will actually be the next kit that we do on stream. So yeah, definitely super highly recommend. They look great. They make the displaying a little bit easier, and they give you real clear dimensions on how much space the entire model will take once you've got it up and on display. So it's definitely a good investment to make. I have not yet started looking at the like the LEDs. There are a couple different companies that do the add-on LEDs so that you can, put all sorts of extra stuff on the Lego models that you're displaying. Haven't gotten into that yet, although I can certainly see that being something that I dig into at some point. And we're almost done, it looks like, with bag 6, and then I think that's probably going to do it for tonight. I don't want to run this too long. If for no other reason, then I'm going to go upstairs and play some Destiny before bed. I got 11 hours of sleep last night for some unknown reason, and I have absolutely no interest in sleeping. So we'll probably go upstairs and jump on, play some Destiny for a while. I think we're gonna finish up this bag, and then that'll be it. I promise that the next time we jump in, Sean, I will tag you directly in the post. I mean, it feels kind of cliche to say, smash that subscribe button. But regardless of that, I will ping you directly next time. Is this the right one? No, this is not the right one. I pulled the wrong sticker off. Damn it. I will ping you directly next time. So if you want to build up to bag 6, we'll start on bag 7 the next time that we jump in. Yeah, the Saturn is one that there's a bunch of really interesting ways to do it. I think Wicked Brick has a display case that actually includes a full lucite case with a printed backdrop. I've seen a couple people who have done kind of a Lego cloud white Lego transparent cloud underneath it, and then light it up with yellow and red LEDs so that it looks like it's actually under full thrust. So there's a couple cool things. It just matters. I mean, that's such a big ass model to begin with. It just really matters how much space you have, like how much room you have. If you're going to do that, it really needs to be something that gets put on the floor. And mine is in one of the bookshelves in the library, and like one of the corner units, and it fits really well, but there's not the room in there that I would need if I was going to turn that into like a full display. Yeah, the Wicked Bricks, like I wish that was someone that I could get an affiliate deal for, because I mean, it's spectacular stuff. Every Lego model that I have over here at the house is either sitting on a Wicked Bricks setup, or I have one ordered so that it can sit on a Wicked Bricks Wicked Bricks layout. Good stuff, good people. They actually sent me an email and thanked me for being a repeat customer, especially after they'd been kind of offline for the pandemic. Just coming back. I mean, literally the 20 minutes after I got the email from them saying, "Hey, we're back open again," I dropped a couple $100 in there getting stuff to match up with the models that I'd built since the last time they were open and I could order from them. All right, you are going here. All right, so we've got 3 extra pieces we'll stick over there. We don't need any more of these. And this is where we ended up. We got, I think I could probably zoom in a little bit here. We got the 3 engines on the back put together. The 2 engines on the side have the angled pieces put in there, while these are just using the bricks. So if we hold that up, a little bit of how it's angled. And then we've got the 3 engines on the back that look like they're more or less done. There's a bunch of attachment points here, so it feels like, whether it's the shroud over the back or whether it's something that comes down the front, it feels like we've got a whole bunch of stuff to be able to put on there, underneath anyway. And then we got the kind of the front piece done. See, that's angled as well. You match up with those on there, and then we got the pieces on the front put on to be able to close off there. So all in all, we got through 6 bags in 3 hours, which was way more than I expected to. So that's good. We will pick up with bag 7 on Saturday night. So we'll do the same thing, 9 p.m. Saturday night. My guess is 7, 8, 9, 10. I think we can finish it on Saturday, which would be pretty cool. So with that, we'll go ahead and sign off. But thanks for sticking around. Thanks for the chat. If you've got any questions, if there's a build that you want to do that I don't already have, I will certainly pick it up and we can put it together. But for those of you who have the Tantive, Sean, I will definitely make sure to tag you in the post, but plan on, if it's possible for you, 9 p.m. on Saturday, we'll go ahead and start with bag 7. If there's anything you need between then, feel free to reach out on Twitter. Feel free to reach out and let me know if you have any questions or anything like that. So with that, we'll go ahead and close it up. Thanks. Have a good night, and I'll see you guys around.